Oh, welcome to Dominico Field at Christie Pitts in a matchup of the two great loggers in the Intercounty Baseball League today. The Lager Shed Original, the Cardinals Small Batch, and the Toronto Maple Leafs Lager from the Left Field Brewery. Good stuff we have on tap here tonight at Christie Pitts. This is going to be a big matchup with lots of implications in terms of the seeding in the Intercounty Baseball League standings this season. The Toronto Maple Leafs, well, they could finish as high as 5th place, while the Hamilton Cardinals, I mean, it's unlikely but possible they could still finish in 2nd in the Intercounty Baseball League if all went very, very well according to plan. But first, they're trying to get through the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, and with more on the playoff seeding, here's Noam Stryper.
Thanks, Thomas. Tonight's matchup has some pretty major playoff implications for both the Leafs and the Cardinals. Looking at the Cardinals, they're sitting just 2 games back of the Barnstormers for home field advantage, and with 6 games left to be played in just 8 days, they have a really good chance to make up some ground on them, and that's going to have to start here tonight against Toronto. Chatham-Kent is going to end things this season off with 2 tough games against London and Welland, so Hamilton really does have that opportunity. Toronto, on the other hand, is looking to make up ground and try to avoid having to play Welland or London in the first round of the playoffs. And they'll do so against Chatham-Kent and Hamilton. So a nice chance for them to play spoiler before they head into Brantford for the last 2 games to hopefully get some ground in the standings. That's all.
Well, lots that can still happen in the Intercounty Baseball League. Here are some of the possibilities from what each team can finish in. So for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the highest that they can get is 5th place. They're sitting in 8th right now in the Intercounty Baseball League, but they have clinched that playoff spot. So for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the pressure's off. They can only go uphill from here. And for the Hamilton Cardinals, they've got 6 games remaining. That's the big thing. The only problem, as you heard Noam Stryper mention there in the pregame, they've got to play those 6 games in the next 8 days to finish out the regular season. So, you know, if they were to win out and get some help from the teams in front of them, they could really move up in the standings. But it puts a lot of emphasis tonight on, one, winning against this Toronto Maple Leafs team who's sitting in 8th place, but also getting some starting pitching from Corbin Peters, who's going to be on the mound here today. So they want him to get as deep as they possibly can into the game. And the guy that he's going to be seeing to lead things off today is this guy you see right there, Ryan Dos Santos, and he has been really heating up at the plate. It's been a kind of an interesting season for Ryan Dos Santos this season. Started out looking like he was going to absolutely smash the IBL all-time walk single season record. He still might do that. He needs 4 walks in his next 4 games, something that he is absolutely on pace to do, but his mindset at the plate has kind of changed over the last couple days. Him being walked so much and leading the Intercounty Baseball League in walks has meant that pitchers have started throwing him a lot more strikes. So Ryan Dos Santos has started ambushing early in the count. Look what he's been doing over the last 6 games. A 462 batting average in his last 26 at-bats. So now getting on base via hits a lot more than he's getting on base via walks. In fact, he hasn't walked much of all over his last couple of games. So that's something that's a great sign for Ryan Dos Santos. He's starting to drive in some runs as well. Before the game, I chatted with Ryan. All right, joined now by Ryan Dos Santos from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ryan, things are really coming around for you lately with the bat. I know like walks have been a big thing for you early in the season, but you told me, you know, that's something that's not really on your mind. You want to swing the bat if you can, and you have. What's kind of been going well for you at the plate?
Yeah, you know, I'm just trying to follow my approach, right? Like I'm always trying to look for a fastball early in counts and, you know, try to deliver a good swing and just make like hard contact. And honestly, like pitchers are being a lot more aggressive with me now, and you know, I just got to jump on my pitch early and make sure that I can support the boys any way I can.
One of the reasons pitchers are being so aggressive with you is that you lead the Intercounty Baseball League in walks, and you're also closing in on the all-time record in walks too. You're 4 away from that. I don't know if that's something that you really look out for at all, but is that something that, you know, you kind of have to manage thinking about that? Because I know you want to swing the bat first and foremost.
You know, like you gotta take what comes to you, right? So like honestly, at this point, I'm not thinking about the record or looking for walks, right? But if I get into a 3-ball count and pitches away, I'm going to take it for ball 4, right? So any way I can contribute to help my team win is kind of the main focus. So, I mean, if I get the record, that'd be very, very cool. I heard Maple Leaf has it, I'm pretty sure as of right now, which is very cool as well. But yeah, it's not a main focus point at all.
I know you guys aren't too focused on the standings. You're mostly focused on getting day by day. I asked Jordan Castell the other day. He said he didn't even know where you guys were in the standings. What kind of mentality do you guys kind of have to have? You know, I know you're trying to work your way up and get as high a seed as possible, but is it kind of just a day by day mentality for you guys?
Absolutely, it's day by day, and you're just trying to get as playoff ready as you possibly can, right? Like, you want to make sure you just play clean baseball to finish up. That way you have some momentum going into the playoffs, and that's kind of what the whole goal is, just gelling together, having a quality at bats, making sure that we have timely hitting come playoff time. And the only way to do that is at the end of the season here, kind of make sure the bats are getting going, staying hot, and that way you have a little bit of momentum.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Ryan Dos Santos has got a real solid approach at the plate right now, and for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're not really looking at the standings. I mean, they can only move up, but they're taking it one day at a time. That's what you got to do, because the situation right now for the Toronto Maple Leafs, you know, might not be extremely dire, but they don't want to face the Welland Jackfish in the first round. If you talk to anybody on the Toronto Maple Leafs, they'll say, you know, that's not a first round matchup they want. They'd much rather have a team like Barrie or London, and they want to work their way up in the standings as much as they possibly can. For now, we're going to take a quick break for the national anthems, and we'll be right back.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see the rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Toronto Maple Leafs and Hamilton Cardinals set to face off here at Dominico Field as we take a look at the pitching matchup this season. On the side of the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's Adam Jeffine who's getting the start, and to be honest, Adam Jeffine over his last couple outings has had a couple ones that he probably wants to forget, but if you look at his last outing back on August 2nd against the London Majors, went 3 innings, just allowed the 1 earned run. Definitely something to build on for Adam Jeffine, and when they signed Jeffine, the former Brantford Red Sox and Welland Jackfish, near the beginning of the season, they knew that they were getting a guy that they can count on, and they're hoping that they can get that production that they've seen from Adam Jeffine in the past, and a little bit of what he gave in his last time out against the London Majors. Meanwhile, on the other side, Corbin Peters has seen the Toronto Maple Leafs a couple times this season. In fact, last time was here at Christie Pitts, and Corbin Peters was excellent. Gave up just 1 earned run over 5 innings, struck out 6 over the stretch as well. But last time out against the Brantford Red Sox, gave up 3 earned over just an inning of work. So, couple pitchers both trying to get back on track just a little bit, although Adam Jeffine will think that he has the momentum going his side right now. Taking a look at the lineup for the Hamilton Cardinals, Yoki Pena is going to lead things off and play right field. And then batting second is Brandon Nickel, the shortstop, who has put up monster numbers against the Toronto Maple Leafs, especially in the home run department this season. Tyler Duncan, the former league MVP and home run derby champ, is in center field batting third. And then Jaden Brown, the third baseman today for the Hamilton Cardinals, batting fourth. He's also been picking it up offensively of late as well. Josh Williams, the big power hitting DH, batting next. Jomer Hernandez, who was one of the mid-season acquisitions by this Hamilton Cardinal team. He's the catcher, does a fantastic job behind the plate defensively, and a really solid hitter as well. At first base is Tamer Rempel, batting 7th. Nick Veloci is at second base, and then Drew Lawrence is in left field, batting 9th today for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Adam Jeffine trying to get through some innings here for Toronto. I think they do have some plans to have a couple long guys up after Adam Jeffine is done, so he does have lots of support behind him today as well. Adam Jeffine will face Yolki Pena to lead things off here for the Cardinals. First pitch in there for a strike. Adam Jeffine will feature some hard stuff with his fastball, but also has a really slow and really devastating breaking ball when he gets it working. This one's hit on the ground to Chiquetto. He knocks it down. No, he flips to first base, not in time. Adam Jeffine had to do some fancy footwork to try and find first base. Wasn't quite able to do it after Chiquetto knocked it down, and Yolki Pena reaches first base to lead off the ball game. So now it's Brandon Nickel who's hitting .281 on the season for Hamilton. Brandon Nickel had a home run against the Toronto Maple Leafs last time he was here, back on July 19th, as part of a 13-3 win. Here's the 1-0. That one's in there for a strike. 28 innings pitched on the season for Adam Jeffine, 23 strikeouts, has an ERA of 6.75 on the year. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Adam Jeffine has had some really good outings this season. The 6.75 ERA has been inflated a little bit over his last 3 or so outings. But a guy who Toronto Maple Leafs know can be a really important part of either the starting rotation or the bullpen. There's a swing and a miss as Nickel goes down swinging, and Adam Jeffine has his first punch out of the evening. Well, one of the most dangerous players in the Intercounty Baseball League this season, Tyler Duncan. Hitting .311 on the year. Duncan was 0 for 3 last time out against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. That was part of a 5-1 loss for Hamilton in their last game. Hamilton's lost 5 of their last 6 and coming at a bit of an inopportune time because they've got a busy stretch, 6 games in 8 days to finish out the season. And for them, they're trying to lock up home field advantage if they can in the Intercounty Baseball League this season. But everything in the middle of the pack in the IBL standings is so close right now. Here's the 0-1. And there's that curveball, but it misses arm side from Adam Jeffine. He's able to locate that curveball against lefties on the outer half. You could even call it a bit of a slurve as well because it has a little bit of diagonal movement. That pitch just causes a lot of problems, especially for lefties. Here's the 1-1 to Duncan. He chops it foul. 1-2 now on Adam Jeffine. Tyler Duncan takes up and away. Count now 2-2. Duncan with 6 home runs and 27 RBIs on the season. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Duncan goes down looking. Another good pitch from Adam Jeffine. Located that fastball in the outer half. And after the infield single to lead off the ball game, Jeffine has got a couple punch outs. Now he faces the third baseman, Jaden Brown, who's had 105 at-bats this season for Hamilton. Took over at the third base position kind of midway through the season. He's hitting .238 on the year. Here's the first pitch to Brown. He checks his swing as that ball skips away a couple feet from Justin Mara, but he pounces on it quickly. Yoki Pena, who's on first base, has decent speed, but he's only swiped 3 bags this year. Here's the 1-0. Pitch in there for a strike. So the Hamilton Cardinals may have lost 5 of their last 6 games, but the Toronto Maple Leafs have also lost 3 of their last 4. So this is a game between 2 teams that are trying to get it back together and see if they can't get hot before the playoffs start, which is coming up very soon. Here's the 1-1. Justin Mara took a look at Yoki Pena as he scampers back to first base. Two and 1 the count now on Brown. 14 RBIs for Jaden Brown on the season. It looked like the home plate umpire went and was looking at the Hamilton Cardinals dugout. Maybe some early words from the Cardinal dugout. Obviously unhappy with a couple strike 3 calls. Here's the pitch. This is a high chopper back towards second base, and it skips by Mar. Now Spencer Ross whips to first, and it's not in time. Oh, a lot happening on that play. Dan Mara was charging over to second base because Yoki Pena was trying to swipe the bag. Then he had to abruptly turn back to his left and try and make a play on the baseball. Could not. Spencer Ross backing him up, had to throw just late. So that's going to bring Josh Williams to the dish. Williams has driven in 18 this year. He's got a runner at second base. Takes a first pitch strike. The Hamilton Cardinals do not have an easy park to hit home runs in, but Josh Williams has still found a way to get 5 balls to leave the yard this year. The 0-1. Williams got that slow breaking ball and fouls it off to the left. This season has been one of the better years for Josh Williams in the Intercounty Baseball League. A career .264 hitter dating back to his days with the London Majors back in 2019, but he's hitting .291 on the season. Not bad for a power hitter. Runners go. Mara throws down to second base, and there's no one there. That one goes into center field. Yoki Pena is going to come in to score, and the Hamilton Cardinals lead 1-0 on some miscommunication on the infield by the Maple Leafs. Well, Justin Mara obviously thought he had a better chance to get the runner going to second. No one covered second base. And I cannot describe to you how perfect that throw would have been from Justin Mara had there been someone there to catch it. It literally bounced off the top of second base on the fly. But instead it's a run in for the Hamilton Cardinals as Williams fouls this one off to the left. Well, we'll see what happens here in this at-bat, but that could be a free run for the Hamilton Cardinals if Adam Jeffine's able to get Josh Williams here. He's ahead in the count 1-2. And that one's upstairs. Still a runner at third base as well. Jaden Brown was dancing off the line at third. Here's the 2-2. Inside. Mara thinking about picking off Brown at third. Josh Williams had to do everything he could to get out of the way of that baseball. Full count now. And it's outside, ball 4. Williams didn't chase that breaking ball from Jaffine, and now this inning continues as Jomar Hernandez is going to come to the plate and get his first at-bat. Well, it was an infield single to lead things off, and then what will probably go down as an error on the infield, and then a throwing error, but more of a miscommunication than anything else by Justin Mara and the Hamilton Cardinals, without hitting a ball out of the infield, lead 1-0 and are still very much threatening here in the top of the first. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 now on Hernandez. Hernandez takes a strike on the inner half. A well-located fastball there from Adam Jeffine, and the count's 2-1. Jomar Hernandez hitting .282 on the season, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. He's only had 46 at-bats after joining the Hamilton Cardinals mid-season. The 2-1, the pitch is outside. This one's hit on the ground into the outfield for a base hit. And it's 2-0 Hamilton Cardinals. It's going to bring Tanner Rempel to the dish. Justin Mara is going to come out and chat with Adam Jeffine. Boy, it's no fault of his own as this inning got pretty long here for Adam Jeffine. He's about to throw pitch number 28. That ground ball into the outfield, the first one that touched grass for Hamilton. They already lead 2-0, and a big hit here from Tanner Rempel is going to really change the complexion of this game and not in the favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nick Veloci on deck, hopeful of an at-bat. First pitch to Rempel. That one's in there for a strike. Tanner Rempel hitting .243 on the season for the Cardinals. Here's the 0-1. Rempel takes high, maybe a little bit outside. Here's the 1-1. Rempel swings and misses. Good breaking ball there from Adam Jeffine. Well, Rempel had a great time out despite the loss to the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. It was 2 for 4. One of the hits a double. 1-2 from Jeffine. And it's hit on the ground to Ross. He goes to the short way to second base, and that'll end the inning. Boy, a lot of extra pitches had to be thrown by Adam Jeffine there, even though he pitched with some pretty good quality there in the first, but the Hamilton Cardinals able to scratch across 2 runs in the bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. Well, Toronto Maple Leafs coming up to the plate. Leading off is Ryan Dos Santos, who's the third baseman today. John Javier and Marcus Connect behind him. No Jordan Castaldo in the lineup, so they'll look for Dennis DeBanning to stay hot in the cleanoff spot. Justin Mara, he's the catcher, batting behind him. Then Spencer Ross hitting sixth, playing shortstop. Dan Mara, Mike Giacchetto, and Luca Boscarino rounding out the bottom third of the order for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ryan Dos Santos to lead things off. He takes low, ball one. Ryan Dos Santos has walked 40 times this season. Only 4 other players in the history of the Intercounty Baseball League have got to that mark before. Dos Santos fouls this pitch off. You know, Ryan Dos Santos, I talked to him about the walks record. He said it's just something you cannot think about at the plate because it's just not in your control. A lot of it has to do with, you know, what the pitcher's throwing to you. And Ryan said it doesn't matter. He's not taking pitches. He's going to ambush early in the count if he gets a pitch he likes. Here's the 1-1. He also noted that it was cool that it was a Toronto Maple Leaf that was the walks leader in the Intercounty Baseball League, and Bill Bykowski played with the Leafs back in 1988, so Ryan said it'd be cool to get the record just to, you know, there's so much Toronto Maple Leafs representation up in that top of the leaderboard in the IBL walks leaders. Speaks to the great power that Maple Leafs have brought to the field each and every year. The 3-1 now to Dos Santos. And he fouls it off. God, he pitched he liked and just missed it. Dos Santos riding a 6-game hitting streak where he's hitting .462. It's been absolutely on fire. Had 3 hits last time out against the Barrie Bay Cats. The 3-2 pitch from Peters. Inside, ball 4. So he's got 41 walks on the season. And now that makes that single season walk record look a little bit more manageable, doesn't it? Almost 4 full games remaining. He needs 3 more walks to catch Bill Bykowski. That's going to bring John Javier to the plate. Top 10 in the Intercounty Baseball League in hits with 53 on the season for Javier. Big swing at the first pitch, as John Javier so often does, and he fouls it off. The 0-1, Javier slices it off to the right. John Javier had a big game a few games ago against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Hit a 3-run home run, which I know was a big deal for him, something that he hadn't done in a couple games. Here's the 2-0. Javier lines it towards center field, and coming in and making the running catch, that's Tyler Duncan, and that's out number 1. Boy, John Javier hit it hard, but that line drive just stayed in the air. And he knows he just missed a base hit. Tyler Duncan, also one of the more sure-handed players out there in center field. He's joined by Andrew Lawrence and Yolki Pena out there in the outfield for the Hamilton Cardinals. Infield has Jaden Brown at third base, Nicolette short, Veloci at second, and Tanner Rempo playing first base. Jama Hernandez doing the catching, and see strike 1 there from Corbin Peters on Marcus Connect, who leads the Toronto Maple Leafs in batting average, hitting well over .380 on the season. Actually, I think he's hitting .379 on the season. The 0-1. Connect swings and misses. Marcus Connect had an injury in his side, kind of right under his rib cage, but Hasn't looked like he's feeling the effects of that very much. Missed about a month of the season. Still up there in the IBL leaders in home runs. He's got 8 on the season. Here's the 0-2. Pitch misses outside. One and two the count now on Marcus Connect. He's driven in 24 runs on the season. One of the leaders on the Toronto Maple Leafs in that department. Dos Santos goes. Hernandez throw is high, and Ryan Dos Santos slides under the tag. Boy, you can see the reaction there from Nick Veloci there at second base. He thought that he was able to tag Ryan Dos Santos. He did not get a great jump off of first base. He stole that bag with pure speed, which Ryan Dos Santos has a lot of. I think he knows that he didn't get the best jump there either. He just beat the throw. It also was not a very good throw from Jomar Hernandez, so it was up high. Veloci had to jump and then throw down the tag. A 2-2 to Connect. Marcus takes outside and the count's full. Here's the 3-2 from Peters. Connect fouls it off. Well, if Marcus Connect can have a productive at-bat here, Dennis DeBanning is on deck. He leads the Toronto Maple Leafs in RBIs. He's got 29 on the season. To think there was one point in the season where DeBanning was not an everyday player for this Maple Leafs team, and now he's maybe the most valuable player on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's the 3-2 to Connect again. And he takes upstairs ball 4. So Dennis DeBanning will come to the plate with a couple guys on base. And DeBanning's hitting .304 on the season for the Leafs. OPS of 888. His 1-for-4 performance against the Barrie Baycats was the first time in a while that's dipped below 900 on the season. DeBanning swings and misses at the first pitch. You know, it kind of felt like the approach for Dennis DeBanning was try and look for fastballs on the outer half. That was to start the season. But now that he's so hot at the plate, he's kind of just hitting whatever the pitcher gives him. If it's something off speed on the inner half, he pulls it. If it's a fastball on the outer half, he'll try and take that ball the other way. The 0-1. DeBanning swings through that pitch up in the zone. 0-2 now. The 0-2 from Peters. Way up and in, goes to the backstop. Both runners will move up 90 feet for the Maple Leafs. So now Dennis DeBanning does not need a base hit to try and cash in a run. If he can get something to the outfield or on the ground to the right side, that might do the trick. The 1-2 pitch. DeBanning takes low. Disciplined take there from Dennis DeBanning, and he's the work the count level. Good at bat so far from DeBanning. Swings and misses at the first 2. Easy to kind of get yourself in swing mode and chase something out of the strike zone again, but he's taken 2. here from Corbin Peters. Now is the count level. DeBanning swings and misses at that fastball from Peters, strike 3, and that's the second out of the inning. Well, here comes another guy that's been productive of late for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Justin Mara, who has raised that batting average to .279 on the season, although was 0 for 4 last time out against the Barrie Bay Cats. But the Maple Leafs' last home game against the London Majors had a fantastic performance, 3 for 4, 3 RBIs as well on a home run. Justin Mara has always liked hitting here at Christie Pitts. Here's the 0-1. Mara takes low. Corbin Peters an ERA of 4.88 on the season and 24 innings pitched. Trying to get out of this bottom of the first. Mara takes low and in, the count 2-1 now. It's a big point in the ball game. A single from Justin Mara most likely ties it at 2. That would respond to the 2 runs that the Hamilton Cardinals scored in the top half of the first inning. If you ask the Toronto Maple Leafs, they probably think that they shouldn't have given up those 2 runs in the first, just with the defense on the infield. Here's the 2-1. That one just missed. Boy, Justin Mara kind of sharply looked back at the Hamilton Cardinal dugout, and now he's looking back at Corbin Peters saying that he's got to elevate the ball a little bit to get it in the strike zone. He was surprised by something that was said in the dugout for the Cardinals. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Mara fouls it off. Oh, he had a big cut at that one. Full count now. Big moment in the ball game here in the bottom of the first. Leafs trying to answer the Hamilton Cardinals 2 they put up in the top half. Here's the full count pitch to Justin Mara. And he takes inside, ball 4. Corbin Peters was halfway to the dugout, and the bases are loaded for the Maple Leafs. So Spencer Ross comes up in a big spot here for the Maple Leafs. He's also been swinging it well of late. Now Angel Castro is going to make a visit to the mound. If I had to guess, I would say that Angel Castro was probably the guy that was chirping from the Hamilton Cardinal dugout at the Toronto Maple Leafs batters, and maybe the umpire as well, something that he did ever so often here when he was a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So Leafs know all about Angel Castro and him getting fired up in the dugout. Gives a big pat there to his pitcher, Corbin Peters, knowing the importance of this moment and trying to get Peters out of the inning. This matchup here, Corbin Peters against Spencer Ross, could pay off big dividends for the Hamilton Cardinals throughout the remainder of this season, if you think about it. Here's the first pitch to Ross, and he takes a strike. The Cardinals have 6 games in 8 days. They need innings here from Corbin Peters. If this inning gets extended and Peters has to throw a whole bunch more pitches, 27 of which he's already thrown, they're going to have to dig in the bullpen. If they have the lead, they might have to dig into some of the higher leverage guys. Peters knows he's got to get Spencer Ross right here. And Ross takes a strike on the outer half, and he's off to a good start. The count's 0-2. Spencer Ross knows the Toronto Maple Leafs, if they want to move up in the standings, they need to win this game. They're tied right now for 7th with the Kitchener Panthers, but the problem is they don't have the tiebreaker over Kitchener. Kitchener has the tiebreaker 3-2 in the season series. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ross takes low. Maple Leafs are probably looking at Kitchener right now and thinking they are definitely an obtainable target, just because they haven't been playing very well of late, but they still have to outplay them in the next 4 games of the season. That's a very small sample size. Here's the 1-2. Ross lines it into the outfield for a base hit. This will score 1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Marcus Connect gets the stop sign at third base. The throw in bounces away towards the Leafs dugout, but all hands will hold. It's a 2-1 ball game, and Spencer Ross comes up with a big hit. The 12th RBI of the season for Spencer Ross, who's been swinging it well. And you could see he got the promotion in the lineup today. He's been the number 9 hitter for almost the entire season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And now he's batting 6th today. And that lineup move from Rob Butler looks really good right now with him driving in a run here in the first. So it's Dan Mara who comes to the plate now. First pitch to Mara, in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Mara hits it on the ground to third. Gobbled up by Jaden Brown, and now he throws to first, and the tag applied by Rempel. Oh, a lot going on there. Justin Mara was running in front of Jaden Brown. He thought about putting the tag on and then realized, I better throw this ball over to first base. They collided. The throw was high, but Rempel was still able to put the tag down on Dan Mara, who was running by the bag. But the Toronto Maple Leafs score 1. They also leave the bases loaded. It's a 2-1 lead for Hamilton as we head to the second. Back here at Dominico Field, it's been a interesting first inning for each of these two teams. The Hamilton Cardinals scored 2. The Maple Leafs scored 1, but had the bases loaded. Spencer Ross came up with a big hit to bring it within 1. The Hamilton Cardinals trying to add on here in the second. First pitch from Jeff Fien, who had to throw a lot of pitches, nearly 30 in that first inning. to strike to Veloci. Nick Veloci, the second baseman today for the Cardinals. He'll be followed by Andrew Lawrence and Yolki Pena this inning. Checks his swing and went around, says the umpire at first base. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Justin Mara will flip it down to first to complete the strikeout. Well, Adam Jeffine has had the strikeout stuff going so far. He's got 3 already through an inning and a third. That was a great pitch down and in. Now it's Drew Lawrence, who's hitting 111 on the season for the Cardinals. Lawrence squaring to bunt, but pulls the bat back. That pitch was outside. Drew Lawrence spent the majority of his IBL career with the London Majors. Now playing his 4th game here with the Hamilton Cardinals. The 1-0. Lawrence bunts, and it's tapped foul towards the Leafs dugout. Lawrence got his sprint in, though. He made it all the way down to first base. Hamilton Cardinals were able to acquire Drew Lawrence right at the deadline in the IBL, the last player on the transaction sheet. That's not a great start, though, to his Hamilton Cardinal career. 8 strikeouts in the 9 at-bats he's had. He's also walked a couple times, though, over that stretch. The 1-1. Lawrence fouls it off, and the count's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is low. Full count on Lawrence. Adam Jeffine trying to get another out here before he has to face the top of the order in Yolki Pena. And he misses outside. Lawrence, the number 9 hitter, will head down to first base. That's going to turn things over for Yolki Pena on the top of the order for the Hamilton Cardinals. Pena and Nickel, 2 dangerous hitters, especially against the Maple Leafs, coming up. First pitch to Pena. Low and in the dirt. That was the pitch that he got Nicholas Veloci to strike out on earlier in the inning, but Pena, the lefty, wouldn't bite. The 1-0 pitch. That one misses as well. Three 3-0 now. Yolki Pena reached on an error and came in to score the first run of the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals. And that one's in there for a strike at the knees. Pena started heading down to first base. And now they've got the runner picked off. Throw down to second is not in time. Oh. Andrew Lawrence was making the swim move motion back to the Hamilton Cardinal dugout, and he thinks he may have swam around that tag, and the umpire at second base agrees. Not a lot of complaint from the Toronto Maple Leafs infielders as well. That might have been a successfully executed swim move there by the runner Lawrence. So that'll go down as a stolen base. Here's the 3-1 pitch now to Pena, and it's inside, ball 4. Oh, so the Toronto Maple Leafs thought they had the second out of the inning. Now Pena walks, and here comes Nickel, hitting .279 on the season. And there's still just one out in the inning. And this one's lined towards center field. That one falls in front of Dennis DeBanning. He throws it towards home plate. Now it's cut off by Chiquetto. And everybody will hold where they are. Station to station go the Cardinals. Bases loaded here in the top of the second. Tyler Duncan coming to the plate in a big moment. So Tyler Duncan, who's got 27 RBIs on the season, has a chance to tack on a whole bunch more right here. Adam Jeffine, boy, he's had the strikeout stuff working today. Does he ever need one right now? Duncan fouls the first pitch off. Obviously the best case scenario would be a hard ground ball in the infield, but you know, if I'm Adam Jeffine right now, now he's ahead in the count, I'd be thinking about trying to bury that breaking ball lefty v lefty. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2. You gotta think that breaking ball's coming here against Duncan. And he got him. On the inside corner, Duncan swings right through it. And that's the second out of the inning, and oh, is it ever a big one. Jaden Brown will come to the plate now, and he will need a base hit to try and score that run. Brown hits the first pitch on the ground. Ross has it at short, throws to second in time to get him. What a great play by Spencer Ross. The Toronto Maple Leafs get out of the inning. Great escape job there by Adam Jeffine. Gets the strikeout and the ground ball to escape. Bases loaded, and it's 2-1 Cardinals. Mike Cicchetto leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs, facing Corbin Peters into his second inning of work. First pitch, Cicchetto lines it down the line, foul, just foul. Cicchetto missed it by a couple feet down the left field line. Pitch count at 34 for Corbin Peters entering into the second inning. He could really use a quick one here. 3-0-1 to Cicchetto is a strike. Cicchetto hits it off the end of the bat and cues it foul toward the Cardinal dugout. The 0-2 in the dirt. The 1-2 to Cicchetto, just outside. Cicchetto takes another ball. A pitch missed in the dirt. Three and two now on Mike Cicchetto, who ripped a ball just foul down the line. Was down to the count 0-2, and now he's worked it back to 3-2. I mentioned the pitch count really up there for Corbin Peters right now. These long at-bats are not doing him any favors. Really needs to try and find that out pitch. He's got ahead a lot of these Toronto Maple Leafs hitters, but a lot of the time this has happened. What's happened here with Mike Cicchetto? Now a full count. And Cicchetto hits this one in the air to center field. He hit it pretty well, but Tyler Duncan has to make a couple steps over to his right, and he comes in and makes the catch. And that's the first out of the inning. Luca Boscarino is hitting in the number 9 spot today for the Maple Leafs. First pitch, down and in. Boscarino hitting .219 on the season for the Maple Leafs and 32 at-bats. The 1-0. Boscarino hits one sharply on the ground. That one's to Veloci, bobbles it, now throws to first in time. That's out number 2. Back to the top of the order, and Ryan Dos Santos, who walked in his first at-bat. Batting average continuing to climb for Ryan Dos Santos. He's hitting .264 now on the year. If he can get on base, a lot of good stuff happening behind him. Javier, Connect, and Demanding all hitting over 300 on the season. Takes a first pitch strike. Great time last time out for Dos Santos. 3 for 5, kind of the lone bright spot in the Toronto Maple Leafs 20-4 loss last time out against Barrie Baycats. That game in Barrie. As Peters finds the zone, and or actually missed it with that one. The count 2-1. That one way upstairs. Peters falls behind Ryan Dos Santos again. The count's 3-1. And the pitch in there for a strike, and the count's full. Another deep count for Ryan Dos Santos. Trying to get on base for John Javier. The 3-2. Fouled off. Oh, Ryan just got a piece of that one and tipped it off the glove of Jomar Hernandez. Another full count pitch from Peters. He steps off. There's a deep at-bat worked by Mike Giacchetto. Another 3-2 count here on Ryan Dos Santos. And he breaks his bat, taps one to Veloci at second base, gobbles it up, throws to first just in time, and that will end the inning. A 1-2-3 frame by Corbin Peters against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's Hamilton who leads 2-1.
Welcome back to the top of the third inning here at Dominico Field. Adam Jaffine back on the mound to face Josh Williams. Hamilton with a 2-1 lead. Jaffine entering his third inning of work here at the pits. First pitch, big swing and a miss from Josh Williams, and it's 0-1. Jaffine's been all around the plate here today. He's notched up a couple strikeouts, gotten squeezed in his mind on a couple pitches on the outside part of the plate for a couple walks, but looking to get back at it here in the third. Another curveball taken for a strike, this time right on the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-2 against Josh Williams. He's had the strikeout pitch working here tonight. He's gotten the majority of his outs so far by way of the swing and miss. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Williams, taken outside, a fastball this time, and it's 1-2. Looking for a quick first out here is Jaffine. Gets his sign for Mara. He's set on the mound. Rocks it to his wine. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, rip foul. Just next to that third base dugout door for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's 1-2 on Williams here. Gets a sign, and here's the pitch. Curveball ripped again off that left field third baseline fence, near the Leafs dugout. Williams has been behind on a fastball and a curveball. Jaffine's two main pitches. He's got a lot of swing and miss off of that break-in pitch early on in this one. Looking to start the third off strong here. Gets a sign from Justin. Set on the mound, and here's the 1-2 pitch to the big DH. Taken inside, a fastball this time. Nearly clipped Williams' right knee. And the count is 2-2. Williams, predominantly a DH in this league. He's been around for a number of years. This go around, I should say, with the Hamilton Cardinals. He's worked the count back even here, 2-2 with Adam Jaffe. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A curveball got him swinging on the outside part of the plate. Mara fires that ball down to third, and there's quickly one away here to start the third inning.
All right, thanks, Gus. Now, Adam Jaffe will try and get a second out. 4 strikeouts so far in his outing. Jomar Hernandez at the dish now and takes outside. Hernandez hitting .287 on the season. That one just misses. Two and 0 now. Swing and a miss. Well, pitch count approaching 50 now for Adam Jaffe. Love to get through a quick third inning here. He's got to get through the veteran backstop for the Hamilton Cardinals first. That pitch just fouled off. Tanner Rempel on deck. He'll get an at-bat this inning. Here's the 2-2. Lined into the outfield. That's a base hit for Jomar Hernandez. And there's one on with one out here for the Cardinals in the third. So Jomar Hernandez is 2 for 2. Now Rempel, who's been excellent defensively at first base. He comes to the dish, trying to drive in Hernandez. First pitch low. One and 0 here on Rempel. Squaring to bunt, takes. I think the home plate umpire might have called that a ball. Yeah, he ran through it, but the pitch was low. It's 2-0 now. Pitch on the outside corner by Jaffe. Counts 1-2. Rempel hitting .242 on the season coming into tonight. Home run and 8 RBIs. He's got Jomar Hernandez on first base. Hernandez goes. Pitch hit on the ground to third, and it skips off the glove of Dos Santos. That one's going to bounce towards the Maple Leafs bullpen. Jomar Hernandez, who was going on the pitch, stays at third base. And cruising into second is Rempel, and he's got himself what will probably be charged as an error at third base. So 2 in scoring position here for the Hamilton Cardinals, something that Adam Jaffe has worked out of before, had bases loaded and 1 out in the last inning, but now he's going to have to try and work some magic once again. Adam Jaffe got out of that second inning, getting some great help from his shortstop, Spencer Ross, who made a fantastic sliding play to get out of the inning. One and 0 now on Nicholas Veloci, the second baseman. He fouls it off. Veloci hitting .083 on the season. Behind him is Andrew Lawrence, who's hitting .111. Jeffine must think his ticket to getting out of this inning lies in the 8-9 hitters. But this one's grounded up the middle for a base hit. This could score two. Getting the wave home is Rempel, and he comes in to score. And it's a 4-1 Hamilton Cardinal lead. So just like that, a ground ball up the middle with the infield in. Cashes home a couple more runs for the Cardinals. The number 9 hitter, Andrew Lawrence, who walked in his last at-bat, comes to the plate. Lawrence fouls this one off. Still just one out in the inning. You know, if Lawrence reaches here, top of the order coming back up again for the Cardinals, who already have opened up a 3-run lead. There's the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and that throw hits the batter in Lawrence, so the runner is out at second base. Oh no, they're just going to send the runner back to first. Boy, Justin Morrow was firing that ball down to second. It was a strikeout on the play, so there's 2 outs in the inning. But Lawrence walked right in front of home plate, not knowing the runner was going, and Justin Morrow hit him squarely in the back with that throw. Pena takes the first pitch outside. This one's ripped down the line, foul ball. The 1-1 pitch, just inside. Pena swings and misses at that pitch, and there's 2 strikes on him now. The 2-2, just outside. Well, Adam Jeffine has had some success from that outside breaking ball before, but Yoki Pena didn't want to bite. Already getting his 3rd plate appearance here in the 3rd inning. 0 for 1, and he's walked. A full count pitch from Jeffine. And he uses a pickoff move to first base. He's had some success on that before. Unfortunately, Toronto Maple Leafs weren't able to record the out at second base. Led to a whole lot of trouble again for Jeffine, who probably feels like he should have had some better luck in this outing so far. The 3-2 to Pena. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got him. Adam Jaffine gets another punch out. That has been his saving grace so far today. But the Hamilton Cardinals tack on a few more. It's a 4-1 Hamilton lead. John Javier leading things off for the Maple Leafs, facing Corbin Peters into his 3rd inning of work. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one misses outside. Two 2-0 now on John Javier. Finds himself ahead in the count to start this at bat. Javier 0 for 1 today. That pitch finds the outside corner. That's been a good spot for Corbin Peters, low and on the outside corner. He's found some success with today, but count still just 1-2 now on Javier. And he swings and misses, and it's 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Corbin Peters gets the first out of the inning on a swinging strikeout from John Javier.
Right fielder number 4, Marcus.
First pitch to Marcus Connect, misses low. The 1-0, Connect, a check swing. He did not go around. And it's 2-0. Corbin Peters is looking back at the home plate umpire thinking that he found that sweet spot there on the outside corner. Connect takes a strike on the outer half, and the count's 2-2. Connect swings and misses, strike 3. Or never mind, that was strike 2. That one's outside, ball 4. That's a lot different result, isn't it, Marcus Connect, as he heads down to first base. He's got himself a walk. DeBanning fouls this pitch off. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Dennis. Takes low. Another pitch that just misses from Corbin Peters, and Dennis DeBanning, just like he did in his last at-bat, starting to work the count again. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Peters gets the strikeout, and there's 2 away. Justin Mara comes to the plate. Justin Mara, who walked in his last at-bat, has great power. 5 home runs on the season. Boy, the Maple Leafs could use a big swing here to get an early momentum boost. Marcus Connect, the runner on first base. He walked earlier in the inning. First pitch strike now to Justin Mara. Mara followed by Spencer Ross, who has the lone RBI for the Maple Leafs today. There's the 0-1. Mara hits one on the ground sharply. A sliding stop at second base by Veloci. Throws to first, and that'll end the inning. To the fourth we go. It's the Cardinals who lead 4-1. Brendan Nickel leading things off here against Adam Jeffine. And he fouls the first pitch off. Here's the 0-1 pitch. One's fouled off, and the count's 0-2. Pitch low and inside. Good spot there from Adam Jeffine. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Jeffine gets another strikeout, and that's the first out of the inning.
Center fielder number 5, Tyler Duncan.
Tyler Duncan, who's 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts today, comes to the plate with one away in the fourth. First pitch from Jeffine outside, but you can see the extreme movement on that Adam Jeffine breaking ball. Here's the 1-0. Just inside. Tyler Duncan finds himself ahead in the count here, trying to get on with 1 out in the 4th. Duncan takes low and inside, 3-0 the count now. Ball 4. Duncan heads down to first base. He's got himself a 1-out walk.
Third baseman, number 6, Jaden Brown.
That pitch low and in, throw it onto second base, and they got him. Oh, the great arm of Justin Mara pays dividends for the Toronto Maple Leafs once again. There's 2 away in the inning. And things looking a lot better now for Adam Jeffine. So Jaden Brown with nobody on base. The 1-0 pitch popped up, and it's back and out of play. The 1-1 up and away. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Hamilton Cardinals here just in the top of the 4th inning. A couple errors for the Toronto Maple Leafs have cost them some runs as well. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one just missed. Jaden Brown, the third baseman, and a hitter's count. The 3-1 right down the middle for a strike. He was taken all the way, trying to replace that runner on first base. Big power hitting Williams on deck. A 3-2 to Brown. Inside, ball 4. Josh Williams will get an at-bat here in the 4th inning.
Designated hitter number 8, Josh Williams.
Lefty v lefty here for Adam Jeffine, trying to get out of the 4th inning. Breaking ball. Oh, you could see Williams. He thought about it, but stayed disciplined and took that pitch that was low and outside. Pitch number 93 coming here from Adam Jeffine. And it's fouled off. Toronto Maple Leafs still very much in this ball game, but with the pitch count of Adam Jeffine getting close to 100, you'd have to think this might be his last inning of work. And the Maple Leafs will have to figure out how they'll bridge the gap to the 9th and try and keep it close. Here's the 1-1 to Williams, outside. Josh Williams is 0 for 1 today. He's walked and struck out. The 2-1. Just missed. 3-1 the count now. You can see the expression on the face of Adam Jeffine there. He wanted that call. It really changes the complexion of this at bat. What would have been a 2-2 count is now very much in Josh Williams' favor. A 3-1. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Mara. He steps on the bag, and that'll end the inning. So Adam Jeffine gets through a scoreless frame, but the pitch count getting up close to 100. We'll see if he's able to come back out for the 5th. For now, we head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Christie Pitts. Well, Spencer Ross, who has been the most productive hitter so far today for the Maple Leafs, drove in their lone run that came back in the 1st inning. This time he'll lead things off here in the 4th. This is a position that Spencer Ross has been familiar with this season, hitting with nobody on base. In fact, he's been one of the better guys at kind of getting things going for Toronto this season. Peters' first pitch to Ross. That one's a strike on the outer half. Ross has kind of been a spark plug for the Toronto Maple Leafs in a couple different ways, whether it's drawing a walk, getting himself on base in some fashion, or even making a great defensive play. He's really settled into that role at shortstop. The 0-1. Spencer Ross took over for Rando Moreno, who has started the season at shortstop for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I was talking to him the other day. He said he's really happy with the way things are going, and he's really settled in, knowing that that's shortstop position is solely his this season. Here's the 1-1. Ross hits it on the ground. Fair ball. Spencer Ross blazing around first base. He's going to go for 2. This ball rolls into the corner, and it's Spencer Ross again, the spark plug for the Toronto Maple Leafs, trying to get something going here in the 4th. So Spencer Ross on second. Dan Mara coming to the plate. A good guy to have come to the plate when you just want to get some contact. Mara, Chiquetto, and Boscarino, the scheduled hitters here for the Maple Leafs. They got to get this run in, though, from second base. It just feels this game like the momentum's been on the side of the Hamilton Cardinals. You can score 1 here in the 4th. This is still a 3-run ball game here at Christie Pitts. All right, trying to bunt, and he was. He's just trying to have a productive at-bat there, but he bunted that one foul back to the screen. Dan Mara is hitting .261 on the season. He's driven in 13 runs this year. The 1-0. Mara takes outside. Dan Mara was 0 for 2 with a couple walks last game against the Barrie Bay Cats. The 1-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner, and Dan Mara will have to battle here with 2 strikes against Corbin Peters. This will be pitch number 72 for Peters. He's really kept things in check pitch count wise in the last couple innings. The 1-2, up and in. Mara ducks out of the way. He'll step out of the box and regroup. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Upstairs. Dan Mara trying to drive in the run from second base with nobody out here in the 4th. And he fouls this pitch off. Hamilton Cardinals really want this game at the start of their extremely busy schedule to finish out the regular season, about as busy as it gets for any team in the Intercounty Baseball League. Got a tough game coming up tomorrow against the London Majors. Here's the 3-2 to Mara. Fouled off again. For a Hamilton Cardinal team that's kind of seen their position in the standings starting to slip down a little bit. Home field advantage in question. And they're going to need to bear down and get some wins over these next couple games to try and overtake the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, of which they do not play again in the regular season. (3-2) to Mara. Inside, ball 4. Boy, what an at-bat there from Dan Mara. Fouled off a couple pitches, 3-2. Then has a stone-cold take on that pitch on the inner half by Corbin Peters that just missed. And Mike Giacchetto will come to the plate here with 2 on base. So this is what the Hamilton Cardinals have at their disposal in the bullpen. Caleb Sarosky was getting warmed up, and I believe he is the one coming to this ball game as Corbin Peters' night is done after throwing about 80 pitches. So the Hamilton Cardinals, who have a 4-1 lead, will call on a reliever to try and get them out of the jam. So this is what's coming up for the Hamilton Cardinals. Right now sitting at 501 place behind home field advantage in the IBL playoffs. London coming up tomorrow. Then they get a rare day off, and I mean it is rare over the next couple of games. And then 2 games against Guelph, Barrie, Brantford. And that'll be how they finish out their regular season. Both the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Hamilton Cardinals finish out their regular season against the Brantford Red Sox, both of which could be impactful games in the standings against a team that's already been eliminated from playoff contention. So Caleb Sorowski is going to come into this game for the Hamilton Cardinals, and here it's a little bit of a jam here. Nobody out, 2 on base. Spencer Ross, who led off the inning with a double, he's on second. Ross has a couple doubles in his last 2 games. Mike Cicchetto trying to come through in a big spot here for the Maple Leafs. Has had a bit of a slow go of it of late after coming back from the injury. Trying to get it going again. Swings and misses at the first pitch. He was selling out first pitch fastball, but didn't get it. Mike Cicchetto has been an extremely productive hitter overall in his time with the Toronto Maple Leafs, dating back to when they acquired him last season. They would love to see his bat get hot again. And now Jomer Hernandez is going to head out to the mound to talk with Sorowski. Caleb Sorowski, an ERA of 4.29 on the season and 20 innings pitched. Strikes out more than a batter an inning for the Cardinals. He's got 8.91 due up for the Maple Leafs here in the batting order. A 1-1 on Mike Cicchetto, took a huge hack at the first pitch. And then Jomer Hernandez went out to the mound. Wonder if they may have had a cross up on the signals. With Spencer Ross being at second base, they got to mix up the signs. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, and that one's going to go to the backstop. Ross scampers into third base. Mara up to second, 2 in scoring position for the Maple Leafs. Well, they already have the tying run at the plate in Mike Cicchetto. And the Maple Leafs have a great opportunity this inning to at least bring it within 1. Cicchetto hits one on the ground. Great play by Brown at third. Throw to first. That cashes in a run. And there's 1 out in the inning. It's a 4-2 ball game here at Christie Pitts. Well, it was a pretty well hit ball by Mike Cicchetto. He'll be good with the RBI there to bring it within 2. And now Luca Boscarino will try and tack on and see if he can't cash in Dan Mara at second base. Boy, Jaden Brown did a great job to stab that ball running to his left. Hamilton Cardinals fortunate they got an out on that play. Boscarino takes outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. There for a strike. Sorowski will look back the runner Dan Mara at second base. Pitch in the dirt, and that counts 2-1. Caleb Caleb Sorosky last pitched against the Brantford Red Sox. Got through 2/3 of an inning without giving up a run. His longest outing this season came on August 1st against the Guelph Royals, where he went 2 1/3. Now this one's hit on the ground by Boscarino. Diving stop by Veloci, but it skips off his glove. Boscarino will reach first base on what will undoubtedly be an infield single. And the Maple Leafs keep it going here in the 4th. Boy, Nicholas Veloci just getting a piece of that baseball definitely saved a run. Dan Mara would have been able to round third base and score. So for now, he's held at third base. Well, the Intercounty Baseball League walks record aside, Ryan Dos Santos has been swinging the bat a lot and swinging it well for the Maple Leafs. This would be a good time, as Dos Santos talked about in the pregame interview before the game, to try and jump on a pitch early in the count. 2 on base. Ryan Dos Santos has some power at the plate, has 4 homers this season. Tied his career high with what he had last year as well. First pitch from Sorosky. Big swing by Dos Santos. He was kind of thinking along those lines as well, but Sorosky might have gone off speed there, and Dos Santos is way out in front. The 0-1 upstairs, and the count's 1-1. Runners at the corners for the Leafs. The 1-1 to Dos Santos. Inside corner, strike 2. Santos takes upstairs. Caleb Sorosky, the local from Hamilton, Ontario. Born in 2001, one of the younger pitchers on this Hamilton team. The 2-2 to Dos Santos, and he cues it to third base. Brown has it, flips to second for 1, and the ball's dropped. Dan Mara comes in to score. No out recorded on the play, and it's 4-3. John Javier comes to the dish now for the Maple Leafs, who have brought it within 1. Boy, Jaden Brown has been solid defensively, especially in this inning. There was nothing wrong with that throw. It was just Veloci at second base who was trying to turn that ball quickly. Saw Dos Santos running down the bag, a tough guy to double off. He was going to have to be a quick transfer, and in the haste of doing that, wasn't able to record the out at second base. Now Javier takes a strike. And poor Caleb Sorosky, who's on the mound, thought he got that ground ball to get him out of the inning, get his team out of the jam, more importantly for the Hamilton Cardinals, but not the case. Now he faces Javier, one of the more dangerous hitters in the IBL, and Javier takes a strike. That one just painted the outside corner. Javier in a hole. 0-2. That's just outside. Jomar Hernandez did his best to try and frame that pitch, and to be fair, Sorosky hit the glove, but Hernandez was set up well outside, trying to get Javier to chase. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Caleb Sorosky gets Javier way out in front, and there's 2 away. Marcus Connect is still trying to register his first at-bat of the game. He's walked both times he's come to the plate. But boy, the Maple Leafs would love one of those big swings from Marcus Connect right here. Big cut at the first pitch, and he fouls it off. Connect has a hit in each of his last 2 games, doubled against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, and a single against the Barrie Bay Cats. Marcus Connect still looking for that. Well, he's got 1 home run since coming back from injury. Still kind of looking to get that rotational power back. Here's the 0-1. Connect takes inside. Marcus Connect came into tonight hitting .378 on the season. Former 3rd-round draft pick of the Toronto Blue Jays back in 2011. The 1-1, Connect swings and misses, and that's 1-2. And Caleb Sarosky is out to battle through a little bit of adversity in this inning. 1 strike away from getting out of it and keeping the Hamilton Cardinals in the lead. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sarosky gets the punch out of Connect, and it's the Hamilton Cardinals who hang on to a 1-run lead, but the Toronto Maple Leafs score 2 in the 4th, and it's 4-3. There's a big roar from the fans here at Christie Pitts as Ayami Sato enters into the game, trying to hold this 1-run lead that the Toronto Maple Leafs have closed the gap to. She'll face Jammer Hernandez to lead things off, and Hernandez takes upstairs ball 1. Sato's 1-0, swing and a miss by Hernandez. Here's the 1-1 from Sato. Upstairs, and that pitch just missed. Well, Sato wanted that call. That was that slow, high spin rate breaking ball from Ayami Sato. And just missed the zone. Now 3-1. She's going to have to battle here against Hernandez, who finds himself in a hitter's count. Hernandez golfs this one in the air towards left. Boscarino back at the wall, and he leaps, and it's gone. Jammer Hernandez able to sneak that one over the wall in left field, and the Cardinals have regained a 2-run lead. Make that 4 home runs on the season for Jammer Hernandez, give him 14 RBIs. He's also got 8 extra base hits now on his young season. It's been a nice addition to the Hamilton Cardinals. Now it's Tanner Rempel at the dish. Sato finds the zone on the first pitch. Rempel 1 for 2 today. Also had some good defense at first base. Here's the 1-1. Rempel takes a strike, and Sato has got a 2-strike count now. The 1-2 pitch just high. Rempel hits this one in the air to center field. Dennis DeBanning takes a few steps in. Now he makes the catch, and that's the first out of the inning. Sato, after giving up the home run to Jammer Hernandez to lead off the inning, then gets a fly out to center field. Sato probably thinking that she made a pretty good pitch on the first batter in Jammer Hernandez. He was way out in front, but he's got great power, and he was able to muscle it over the wall and left. Veloci lines this one into the outfield. That's a base hit. Boscarino plays it on a couple bounces, and Veloci has himself a base hit. Nick Veloci, the Newmarket, Ontario native, who spent some time with the McMaster Marauders in the OUA. Now turn things over to the longtime London Major in Andrew Lawrence. Lawrence fouls it off. Andrew Lawrence familiar with the Toronto Maple Leafs, playing in the playoffs for the London Majors when Toronto and London played each other in the finals back in 2022. Lawrence had a fantastic Intercounty Baseball League playoffs that season, including a really good series against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He hit .357 in those playoffs with London. Was a real thorn in the side for the Maple Leafs back then. Sato, check on first base. Rempel hadn't started to take his lead off yet. Josh Barenbaum getting loose for the Maple Leafs in the bullpen. The 1-1. Fouled off by Lawrence. Well, Josh Barenbaum, you'd have to think will probably close out this ball game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but depending on where this game is at, there are still some Maple Leafs that are sitting in the wings right now that need to qualify for the playoffs innings-wise. The 1-2, up and in. Mara is thrown down to second base, and it skips into center field. That was in time, but it was going to be a real tough hop there for Spencer Ross. Kicked off his glove, and it's a stolen base for Nick Veloci. Veloci's now got 3 stolen bases in the 16 games he's played with the Hamilton Cardinals this season. Meanwhile, Ayami Sato has a 2-2 count now on Andrew Lawrence. Here's the pitch. Sato delivers in the dirt, and the count's full. Five different pitches for Ayami Sato, all of which she's willing to throw for strikes at any count. So see what she goes with here against Lawrence. The full count pitch, and it's hit in the air to center field. Dennis DeBanning a few steps back. He's under it. He makes the catch. Tagging and trying to go to third base is Veloci, and he'll slide in there head first. Back to the top of the order now in Yolki Pena, and if Ayami Sato can get Pena here, limited damage in the inning, just the home run to Jomar Hernandez to lead things off, and the Maple Leafs will try to go to work again in the 5th, but this is a key batter here to get with the run to make it 6-3, just 90 feet away at third base. And a pretty speedy guy out there as well, and Nick Veloci. Pena 0 for 2 today. Takes the first pitch at the knees for strike 1. Pena dishes one into the outfield down the line. That's a base hit. Stayed fair by a couple inches. He'll cruise into second base as that ball rolled all the way to the wall. It's an RBI double for Yolki Pena, and it's 6-3. That's going to bring Brandon Nickel to the plate, the Southern Arkansas Mule Rider in the NCAA Division II. Nickel and then Tyler Duncan if it gets that far. First pitch high from Sato. Ayami Sato comes into this outing with an ERA of 12.51 on the season with 13 2/3 innings pitched. And this one's hammered deep left field, and Nickel has homered against the Maple Leafs again. Second home run of the inning for the Hamilton Cardinals. Nickel has made it 8-3. Brandon Nickel with some big damage with 2 outs. Homered last time he was here at Christie Pitts and continues to get it over that left field wall here in Toronto. Justin Mara is going to come out to the mound and chat with Sato. Well, Rob Butler's coming to the mound as well. We'll talk to Josh Berenbaum before the game. He was prepared to come in and get multiple innings for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but it will start with 2 outs here in the 5th. Hamilton Cardinals have scored 4 already, and the night for Ayami Sato is done. Josh Berenbaum coming into the game. Back here at Dominico Field, and Josh Berenbaum trying to get out of the inning here for the Maple Leafs. First pitch by Tyler Duncan, fouled off to the left. Well, if there's been a positive for the Toronto Maple Leafs so far today, they've found a way to keep Tyler Duncan, one of the more dangerous hitters in the IBL, at bay. 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts, but he has reached first base via a walk. Now Berenbaum will try and get him again. Duncan takes a strike on the outside corner. Tyler Duncan hitting .307 now on the season. Behind him is Jaden Brown, who's 1 for 2. Duncan swings and misses. Josh Berenbaum comes in, gets the 3-pitch strikeout on Tyler Duncan, and that will end the 5th inning. Clean work there from Josh Berenbaum. But the Hamilton Cardinals tack on. They now lead by 5 here at the pits. Dennis DeBanning leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs, facing Caleb Sarosky, who's back on the mound. Sarosky has got through an inning with a couple punch-outs so far, as DeBanning swings and misses at the first pitch. A hit here for Dennis DeBanning, and the batting average will creep back up over 300. The 0-2 just misses outside. The 1-1. Sarosky just misses. Well, Caleb Sarosky has never pitched more than 2 2/3 innings this season, but with the lead kind of being opened up, you almost wonder if the leash for Caleb Sarosky opens up a little bit as well. If you can get through a quick inning here, the Hamilton Cardinals are in pretty good shape for not just this game, but their busy schedule ahead. 3-1 now on Dennis DeBanning, who's followed by Justin Mara and Spencer Ross this inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch. DeBanning swings and misses. Dennis DeBanning, the former Fort McMurray Giant in the WCBL. The 3-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. DeBanning goes down looking.
Number 9, Justin Mara.
Justin Mara is 0 for 1 today with a walk. Trying to get something going here in the 5th for the Leafs. First pitch to him just misses. The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Mara hits a bouncer on the ground. This one's to short. Nickel to first, and that's 2 away now. Spencer Ross has been the hot bat in the lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs today. He's 2 for 2. He's driven in a run, and then his last at bat he had a double. Spencer Ross isn't going to hit .310 like he did last season with the Kitchener Panthers, but man, as soon as he started getting that everyday playing time at shortstop for the Maple Leafs, he's continuing to get better and better. Had a double last game and a 1 for 2 effort against the Barrie Bay Cats. Has a double here today. Not a guy that's known to have a lot of power, but Spencer Ross sprays the ball around the field, hits it down the line, finds a gap here and there. The 0-1. Ross swings and misses. Good off-speed pitch there from Sarosky, and he's got Spencer Ross on the ropes here, 0-2. Sarosky at 31 pitches in the outing. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Caleb Sarosky dealing on the mound right now. 32 pitches, he's got through 2 innings and may have just earned himself another frame. It's the Hamilton Cardinals who lead 8-3 here in Toronto. Well, here's what's coming up for the Toronto Maple Leafs to finish out their regular season in the IBL. Not the hardest of schedules, as you can see. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, never an easy game to go out and play in Chatham-Kent, but then 2 games against the Brantford Red Sox. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, who, if this score holds today, it kind of limits their possibilities of where they can go in the Intercounty Baseball League standings. But right now, the focus has got to be just trying to catch the Kitchener Panthers. You know, they can get a couple wins against a Brantford Red Sox team that's already been eliminated from playoff contention. They've got to pass Kitchener. They can't be tied with them because the Panthers have the tiebreaker this season. The Guelph Royals, who are ahead of the Kitchener Panthers in 6th place that the Maple Leafs would love to track down, also have the tiebreaker over Toronto. So they're going to need some wins over the final 3 games of the regular season. The 1-0 pitch hit sharply on the ground, picked by Mara at second. He throws to first, and that's the first out of the inning. Boy, Josh Berenbaum has thrown 5 pitches so far. He's got a strikeout and a ground out. Josh Berenbaum coming in relief today, but I think Berenbaum will end up being one of the playoff starters for the Toronto Maple Leafs. No confirmation on that, but man, he's gave Toronto some good innings this season, whether it be out of the bullpen or from the starting rotation. This one's hit into the outfield for a base hit. Josh Williams has a single. Oh, it's Jomar Hernandez who homered in his last at-bat. What a day at the plate it's been for Hernandez. 3 for 3, a home run, 2 RBIs. The home run was a solo shot. He scored twice. Trying to tack on here with Williams at first base. The 0-1. Fouled off at home plate. The 1-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. The 1-2 to Hernandez, and it just missed. Josh Berenbaum finds a lot of success when he's got that good breaking ball going. Hernandez takes low and inside. Full count. Hernandez hits it on the ground. Spencer Ross, great play. Throw to second for 1. Back to first, double play. Oh, Spencer Ross does it again. Turned by Dan Mara at second, and Berenbaum has got through a pretty clean 6th inning with some help from Spencer Ross at short. So we'll see how things play out, but some interesting situations for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Obviously, not all these guys are going to be able to qualify for the Toronto Maple Leafs playoff roster. The guy who's closest to getting into that conversation is Greg Carrington, who's pitched 7 innings. He's got the appearances to do it. He needs to qualify. For pitchers, you need 10 innings and 5 appearances. Dylan Oborn, Landon Leach, who only has an inning in the 3rd innings pitched, Sam Spencer, Alex Karabian, and Alex Ewer. All guys that are on the roster right now for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but still need those innings. But, you know, it'll be a tough thing to kind of balance for the Toronto Maple Leafs right now because they got to win some ball games. They definitely got to win some ball games against Brantford to finish out the season. They do not want to face the Welland Jackfish to start things off in the playoffs. They'd love to be the 7 or 6 seed if they could creep up that high, but they also want to have some of those guys that you just saw on the screen there qualify for the playoffs. Maple Leafs got some work to do to try and get their whole roster good to go for playoff contention. Dan Mara takes a strike. There's the 0-1 pitch to Mara. 0-2 now. Caleb Sorosky has had a very strong 2 innings for Hamilton so far. 0-2 to Mara. Misses outside. Another thing with that situation for the Toronto Maple Leafs is you just kind of have to balance, putting guys in just for the sake of getting innings and putting guys in for the sake of winning baseball games. The 1-2 to Mara. Line drive, center field, base hit. Dan Mara leads off the 6th inning with a single. Mara on first, and here comes Chiquetto. Chiquetto 0 for 2 today, but had an RBI ground out on a sharply hit ball to the left side last at bat. Chiquetto's also probably kicking himself because in the at bat before that he ripped a ball down the left field line, but it was just foul by about a foot. Probably would have been a double. Chiquetto swings and misses. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, I missed. Well, speaking of the IBL playoffs, Mike Chiquetto tried to will the Toronto Maple Leafs to at least a victory in the first round of the playoffs last season against the Barrie Baycats. Had 2 home runs, including a grand slam. He was a machine in the 3 games that the Maple Leafs played, but unfortunately swept away by Barrie, as there's a check on Dan Mara at first base. Everyone I've talked to on the Toronto Maple Leafs, definitely admits that the situation hasn't really been great just with the team's performance this season, but they still feel like they have a group of guys that can put together some wins in the playoffs. But the mindset for the Maple Leafs, whether it be now in the regular season or in the playoffs, is they've got to take it 1 game at a time. Just go all in every game, try and win 1 game at a time, and don't think about trying to get everything back all in one blow, because Maple Leafs would love to have finished higher in the standings, but the reality of it now, they're probably going to have to battle a much higher seed come the first round of the playoffs, as Mike Chiquetto strikes out there, and Caleb Sorosky has the first out of the inning. Sorosky 5 strikeouts through 2 1/3 innings. Luca Boscarino had a base hit in his last at-bat. Takes in the dirt. It was an infield single, but only because Nicholas Veloci at second base made what was nearly an incredible diving play, but just wasn't able to come up with it. The 0-1. Swing and a miss way out in front of that off-speed pitch that was low from Sorosky. Here's the 1-1 to Boscarino. Swing and a miss. The 1-2. Boscarino takes low. Boscarino swings over the top of that one. Sorosky has 6 punch-outs. So Caleb Sorosky trying to venture into some uncharted waters this season to get through 3 innings of work. We'll have to get through Ryan Dos Santos. Dos Santos takes the first pitch. Dan Mara had a huge lead over there at first base, so Jomar Hernandez thought he'd have a look at him and just trying to get him back on the base. Here's the 1-0 to Dos Santos. He takes a strike on the outer half. Ryan Dos Santos officially 0 for 2 today and trying to extend a 6-game hit streak that he's put together, dating back to July. Probably going to get a couple more at-bats here in this game, including this one. The 2-1 from Sorosky, that misses outside, and it's 3-1. That one is inside ball 4. And Ryan Dos Santos heads to first base. And he is now 3 walks away from Bill Bykowski's record back in 1988. He is getting close. That one ties him with his teammate Jordan Castaldo for 3rd place. But fortunately for Jordan, who's not here today, he's still got 1 more walk ahead of Dos Santos that he got back in the 2019 season. A lot of Leafs up there on that all-time walk leaderboard. Well, the 2 walks today, I talked to Dos Santos, and I was like, I don't know if you're going to do it if you're swinging the bat so much. And he agreed. He said, yeah, I don't know. He's probably just going to stick to his approach. But he also admitted it's something that's totally not in his control. And there's a 3-1 count. He just didn't get a strike. And the record looks quite likely now. Caleb Sorosky stepped off the mound there, had to retie his shoe on his back foot. 0-1 the count now on John Javier. Javier fouls it off. Two on for the Leafs here in the 6th. Trailing by 5. Clinging on to a little bit of hope that John Javier can try and drive someone in here. The 0-2. High chopper. This one's to Nicolai short. He's going to have to hurry. He does, and it's right on the money. That'll end the inning. Hamilton leading by 5 here in Toronto. Well, back here at Dominico Field, Josh Berenbaum, who has looked strong to start out his outing, is back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Berenbaum has pitched an inning and a third so far for Toronto. Given up just one hit. That was to Josh Williams, but he got the very next batter to ground into a double play, so that erased that. One out to Rempel. He hits this one in the air to center field. DeBanning going back at the wall, jumps, and did he get it? Oh, Dennis DeBanning, who's down in center field. Oh, his teammates seem to think that he caught that baseball. Or did it go over the wall? Well, I think that ball might have gone over the wall in center field. That's a home run for Tanner Rempel, and it's 9-3. And now there's some concern for Dennis DeBanning. Looks like he might have jammed his hand on the fence. Okay, so that ball did not clear the wall in center field. It's still out there, but the concern was more for Dennis DeBanning in the moment, and Tanner Rempel came around and scored. I was kind of wondering where that baseball ended up. Got thrown into the bullpen eventually, but either way, it's going to go down as a home run for Rempel. Well, Ben Sidorenios has made his way out from the Leafs dugout. And Dennis DeBanning, who looks like he might have hurt his hand, is coming out of the ballgame. That is very bad news for the Toronto Maple Leafs. One of their real bright spots on the season in Dennis DeBanning, leaving this ball game with what looks like a hand injury just by the way he's holding his arm. Well, Josh Berenbaum and all the infielders kind of had their hands in the air. It looked like maybe they thought Dennis caught that baseball. A bit of a smile there as he passes by Luis Bernardo at third base. So Sidorenios, the new center fielder, into the game for the Maple Leafs. Nick Veloci comes to the dish. Now a 9-3 Hamilton Cardinal lead. First pitch from Berenbaum. A strike on the outside corner. The 1-0. Cut on and missed. Berenbaum had Veloci all tied up on that breaking ball. Here's the 0-2. Just missed. Mara was getting ready to fire that ball down to Dos Santos at third base. The 1-2. Check swing. No swing by Veloci. 2-2 the count now. Berenbaum rocked into his windup quickly there. Veloci takes outside and the count's full. Well, Nicholas Veloci swings and misses at this pitch. Maple Leafs finally able to solve Veloci, who's was 2 for 3 coming into the at-bat. Berenbaum gets the strikeout. That's his second. Now it's Andrew Lawrence. Just going to stay, though. Veloci came into this game. He was 1 for 11 on the season. He's already got a couple base hits today and driven into. Lawrence takes a strike from Berenbaum. Josh Berenbaum at 21 pitches in the outing. 14 strikes, 7 balls. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. The 0-2 outside. Berenbaum an ERA of 5.09 on the season and 46 innings pitched for the Leafs. 1-2 pitch. Berenbaum frustrated as he misses outside. Lawrence has worked at level. Berenbaum misses in the dirt, this time falling off the mound a little bit as he delivered the pitch. Josh Berenbaum will kind of reset his landing spot there and try and reset in this at bat as Lawrence has worked it to a full count. A couple misses from Berenbaum. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. Lawrence heads down to first base. He's drawing a walk. Back to the top of the order, and Yolki Pena, who's 1 for 3. Pena takes a strike. Yolki Pena, the native of Montreal, Quebec, play on this Hamilton Cardinal team. This is first year in the IBL. The 1-1, runner goes. Mara's throw into center field. Fortunately for the Maple Leafs, the runner in Lawrence dove into second base, so he wasn't able to take the extra bag. And Lawrence is kind of shaking the dirt off himself. He kind of went head first right into the second base bag. It looked like he kind of banged his head on the bag on the way by. Looks like he's all right. 1-2 to Pena. Strike 2. Well, Josh Berenbaum, who would love to finish this game for the Maple Leafs, needs to get Pena here to avoid an extended pitch count inning. The 2-2. Fouled off. Straight back to the screen. Yolki Pena had a pretty good cut at that pitch that was up and away from Berenbaum. Adam Jeffine started this ball game, went 4 innings, then Sato 2/3 of an inning. Now Berenbaum, and he misses outside to Pena. That's another 3-2 count. He's got through an inning and 2/3 so far. Josh Berenbaum, who got 2 strikes on Pena, trying to finish the job. Pena fouls it off. He's at a pesky at-bat here against Berenbaum. He believes trailing by 6, cannot afford to let Andrew Lawrence at second base score. The 3-2. Check swing, did he go? Strike 3, called on the inside corner. And that's the second out. Well, now it's Brandon Nickel who comes to the plate. 2 for 4, including a 2-run home run. Get this, Brandon Nickel has hit 5 home runs against the Maple Leafs this season. 5 of the 7 home runs that he has on the year. Nickel swings and misses at the first pitch. Here's the 0-1. Off the glove of Berenbaum, it rolls out to Dan Mara at second, and he makes the play onto first. Boy, that one just got a piece of the end of the glove of Berenbaum. Mara able to stick with it. And Josh Berenbaum gets through the 9th, allowing just the solo home run. It's 9-3 Hamilton now. Well, the Hamilton Cardinals look like they have got things back on track here against the Toronto Maple Leafs, leading by 6, and that's good. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, had a 5-1 loss to the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers last time out, despite getting a pretty good starting pitching performance. So Hamilton Cardinals will be happy with this performance thus far against the Toronto Maple Leafs, trying to get a win before their busy end of the season. Marcus Connect is going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs. They need a bunch of runs here, and they're down to their final 9 outs. Jacob Gajic, the new pitcher into the game for the Cardinals. His first pitch to Marcus Connect. It's fouled off by Connect. Here's the 0-1. Connect, fouls another one off, and the count's 0-2. Jacob Gadzik, an ERA of 4.65 on the season and 9 2/3 innings pitched. So if he can get one out here, he will officially be qualified for the playoffs for the Hamilton Cardinals. Gave up an earned run, though, in each of his last 2 outings. Last time wasn't able to get an out against the Brantford Red Sox, so was stuck on that 1 out remaining before he qualifies for the playoffs. Hamilton hoping that he can get that right here. Hamilton Cardinals also have a lot of fresh arms down there in the bullpen. Just one of the 7 relievers that they have listed on the roster sheet down there in the bullpen have pitched in the last 7 days. Here's the 1-2 to connect. That one misses outside. Well, aside from that bad outing last time out against the Brantford Red Sox, Gadzik has been a really solid reliever for this Hamilton Cardinal team. The 2-2 to Marcus Connect. Just outside. Full count. Connect 0 for 1 with a couple walks. A 3-2 pitch from Jacob Gadzik. And it's popped up on the infield. Tanner Rempel calling for it. He makes the catch, and Jacob Gadzik is qualified for the playoffs for the Hamilton Cardinals. So this will bring Ben Sidorenios to the plate for the Maple Leafs. Entered into this game under rather unfortunate circumstances. Dennis DeBanning, he's still sitting on the table down there, kind of getting the hand looked at. Ben Sidorenios came into the game after DeBanning crashed into the wall and appeared to hurt his hand out in center field trying to rob a home run last inning. Sidorenios hitting .233 on the season for the Maple Leafs. He's got 30 at-bats on the year for Toronto. Sidorenios takes a strike. Majority of Sidorenios' time this season has been spent as a batter, but has pitched a couple games for the Maple Leafs. The 0-1. Hit on the ground. Little tapper to Veloci. Gobbles it up. Throws to first. Had to be quick. And that's the second out of the inning. So now Justin Mara, who's 0 for 2. Justin Mara, the former 15th round draft pick of the Chicago Cubs back in 2011. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Mara lines it to Veloci at second. And that will end the inning. So Jacob Gadzik, lots of good things happened for him. He qualified as a pitcher for the playoff roster for the Hamilton Cardinals, and he got through a 1-2-3 inning, and the Maple Leafs are now down to their final 6 outs. Well, the Intercounty Baseball League standings are so close right now, and there's so much that can still happen, especially for both of these teams this season. If you look at the side of the Hamilton Cardinals, well, if things really went their way, they could finish as high as second place. The Maple Leafs, a loss today and the possibility of finishing fifth is out of the question, but they still could be seventh or sixth. But still, you know, after today, we'll just have the 3 games remaining. The Hamilton Cardinals, though, they have games in hand on everybody. And for some teams, they have like 3 or 4 games in hand. Nobody else has 6 games remaining. Unfortunately for the Hamilton Cardinals, you know, maybe some postponement games have really piled up the back end of the schedule for them. But if they can get on a roll and they're happy to play almost every day up until August 17th when the regular season ends, they could really move their way up the standings in the IBL. Tyler Duncan, who's leading things off, fouls this pitch off, and the count's now 1-1. Josh Barenbaum has got through an inning and 2/3 for the Leafs. Maple Leafs are making the long trek out to Chatham, Kent to take on the Barnstormers tomorrow afternoon. That'll be a quick turnaround. 3-1 pitch. Low ball 4. Tyler Duncan will head down to first base with his second walk of the game. Point being, if Josh Barenbaum can finish out this game, save some of the arms for the Maple Leafs, that would really help them out tomorrow. So they make the long 4 or 5 hour trek down to Chatham, Kent. Jaden Brown at the dish. Takes a first pitch strike. Check over on Tyler Duncan there from Josh Barenbaum. Brown in an 0-2 hole. Here's the pitch from Barenbaum. Just missed. Jaden Brown has really been picking things up offensively. If you look back, you know, this offensive hot streak from Jaden Brown all kind of started against the Toronto Maple Leafs last time these two teams played back on July 19th. Had a 3-hit game. Since then, he's had a 2-hit game against Guelph, another 3-hit game against the Brantford Red Sox. Fouls another one off from Josh Barenbaum, and it remains 1-2. Already 1 for 3 today. Another 1-2 from Barenbaum. Brown hits it in the air, struck pretty well. Marcus Connect back to the wall, and that one's gone. Jaden Brown goes to opposite field, a 2-run home run, and it is an 11-3 lead for Hamilton. Well, that hot bat of Jaden Brown that all started against the Maple Leafs last time these two teams played stays hot. He's got 2 hits today. Rob Butler out to the mound. Greg Carrington is warming up in the bullpen. He's one of those players that just needs 3 more innings to qualify for the playoffs for the Maple Leafs. He's getting loose. Berenbaum's going to stay in the game. Rob Butler was just out to chat with Josh Berenbaum. So Jaden Brown's home run, his 4th of the season, has made it 11-3, and this one is pretty much out of reach, you'd think, for the Maple Leafs here in the 8th inning. Williams takes a strike at the knees. Josh Williams 1 for 3 today. Now rips one foul off to the left. Josh Williams, the power hitter, has got the batting average up to .292 on the season. Behind him, Jomar Hernandez, one of the newer additions to this Hamilton Cardinal team, is now hitting .320. A swing and a miss. Berenbaum gets the strike out of Williams. So this is Jomar Hernandez coming to the plate now, and this is exactly what they wanted to see from their import catcher. There's been a couple shakeups throughout the season roster-wise for the Hamilton Cardinals. Hernandez comes in. He's 3 for 4 today. Has had a great day at the plate. That includes a home run that he hit off of Sato a couple innings ago. He was taken all the way on that first pitch as he stepped out of the batter's box as Berenbaum misses outside. Here's the 0-1. Boy, he was fooled by that breaking ball. Jomar Hernandez thought that was a fastball that was coming in and hitting him. Kind of jumped out of the way, but it hooked back into the strike zone, and he counts 1-1. Now he fouls this pitch off. 1-2. And strike 3 called. Berenbaum freezes Hernandez. That's the 2nd out of the 8th. Well, just to add to the long list of Hamilton Cardinals that have put up big numbers today, Tanner Rempel, 2 for 4. Rempel takes a strike. There's the 1-1 in the dirt. Rempel takes low. It's a 3-1 count now. Ball 4. Rempel heads down to first base, 2 outs in the inning, and the Cardinals have a runner on first. Tanner Rempel, who's got 2 hits today, ended a bit of a cold streak last time out against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Now he's got 4 hits in his last 2 games, and he's getting on base at a pretty good click as well. That's the first walk he's taken since July 13th against the Brantford Red Sox. And he's going. That'll be defensive indifference there by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Berenbaum electing just to focus on the batter here. Here's the 0-1. Strike taken by second baseman Nick Veloci. Veloci, one of 5 Hamilton Cardinals today to have a multi-hit game. Swings and misses at that pitch. Mara goes to the backstop, gets it, fires to first. Pick jibe by Chiquetto at first base. Oh, a lot happening on that play. Mara to scamper back and get the ball. Chiquetto to pick that one out of the dirt. And that will end the inning. But the 2-run home run by Jaden Brown, his 4th of the year, has made it a 11-3 Cardinals. New pitcher in the game for the Hamilton Cardinals, Stephen Hospital. First pitch ball. Stephen Hospital has been a real stud down there in the bullpen for the Hamilton Cardinals. An ERA of 3.46 on the season, 20 2/3 innings pitched, all of them in relief. The 1-0 upstairs. Hospital last pitched back on August 3rd against the Brantford Red Sox. The 2-0. That one finds the zone. That game against the Brantford Red Sox ended up in a 10-8 loss for the Hamilton Cardinals, where they used 8 different pitchers. I don't think they really wanted to go to hospital that game necessarily because they were losing, but they had to because they didn't have anyone left in the bullpen. Two, Ross. High chopper to Rempel at first. Little jump, makes the play, touches the bag ever so lightly with his foot. That's the first out of the inning. Zach Lamprey is going to get an at-bat here for the Toronto Maple Leafs, hitting in the place of Dan Mara. Lamprey he might come in and play second base. He can kind of play all over for the Maple Leafs. He might move to third and push Dos Santos out there. The possibilities are really endless for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the top of the 9th inning. The 0-1 pitch. Owen's in there for a strike, and the count's 0-2 on Zach Lamprey. 2 for 30 on the season. Here's Lamprey. Here's the 0-2. Pitch just misses. Here's the 1-2 from Hospital. Lamprey swings and misses, strike 3. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Mike Cicchetto comes to the plate for the 4th time today for the Maple Leafs. It's 0 for 3, but he's driven in a run. Mike Cicchetto, a key piece for this Maple Leafs team. They really want to get his bat going before the playoffs start. Put some good swings on baseballs today. Seems like he's close to breaking through. Hospital's 0-2. Just missed. 1-2 now. Good take there from Mike Cicchetto. The 1-2 to Cicchetto. Hospital misses outside. Mike Cicchetto being selective on these last 2 pitches. Looking for the one he wants. The 2-2 pitch. Cicchetto hits a tapper. This one's to third. Now to short. Throw to first. Oh, what a play. Nickel with the throw. Rempel with the stretch to keep his foot on the bag. Mike Cicchetto and the Maple Leafs don't think so, but it was an acrobatic play to watch there at first base with Rempel laying out for the big stretch. Hospital needs just 13 pitches to get through the bottom of the 8th inning, and we head to the 9th. The Hamilton Cardinals look like they might have one more at bat. Maple Leafs have a new pitcher into the game. Greg Carrington will face Drew Lawrence to start things off. Lawrence hits a chopper on the ground. Ross has it skip over his glove. Oh, that took a big old Christie hop on the infield. And it went right over the head of Spencer Ross. Lots of milestones on the docket for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ryan Dos Santos inching closer to the IBL single-season walk record of Bill Bykowski with 2 of them today. Justin Morrow, 1 home away from 6th all-time in the home run department, and Jordan Casnaldo getting pretty close in RBIs and doubles, looking for 2nd place all-time in each of those 2 departments. First pitch missed to Yoki Pena, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. It didn't load.
This one's fouled off.
No.
2-1 pitch.
What's his number? They have his number on that.
This is actually not Yoki Pena at the plate. We're just trying to scour the lineup card and find that for you. 2-2 now.
Yeah, but that's left. He's a righty. They didn't put numbers on their lineup card. They're geniuses. Maybe
Ah.
maybe Summer, maybe Hildebrandt.
Strike 3 called. So Carrington gets the punch out. That's the first out of the inning.
Shortstop number 32, Brendan Nickel.
So that was Jackson Somerville, one of the junior call-ups for the Hamilton Cardinals. He got his first IBL at-bat there. Now it's Brandon Nickel at the dish. Here's the 1-1. Pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Nickel 2 for 5 today. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Golfed in the air. This one's to left field. And Boscarino over there to make the catch. 2 away.
Center fielder number 5, Tyler Duncan.
Tyler Duncan, the only Hamilton Cardinal in the lineup without a hit today, looking for his first. Not to say he hasn't had a productive day at the plate. He has struck out 3 times, but he still walked twice and came in to score. There's the 0-1 pitch. 1-2 now. On the lefty, Duncan. Carrington trying to get out of this top of the 9th inning. Duncan hits it on the ground. That is a foul ball. Oh, it was close. Just skipped over the bag and rolled foul. Duncan inches away from getting that first hit on the day. Another 1-2 from Carrington. Hit on the ground, a high chopper into the outfield for a base hit. So Tyler Duncan will get that first knock, and now everyone in the starting lineup for the Hamilton Cardinals has got themselves a hit. Two on now for Jaden Brown. Greg Carrington is probably sitting here on the mound thinking, man, I've made some good pitches in this inning, but you know, the ground ball gets through there, gets a bad hop on the first one. Now he'll need to bear down and get Jaden Brown, who has 2 hits today. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off himself at home plate. Yeah, Carrington, Justin Mara, and the home plate umpire all kind of stalling just to give Jaden Brown a couple moments here after taking that foul ball. You can see Justin Mara there still chatting with the Hamilton Cardinal dugout. The 0-1. That's a strike. 0-2. See if Greg Carrington can throw a well-located pitch here and get out of the inning. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He sure can. That gets the Toronto Maple Leafs out of the top of the 9th. A productive inning for Greg Carrington. He just needs 2 more to qualify for the playoffs. It's an 11-3 lead for the Hamilton Cardinals. Well, taking a look here at the playoff format in the Intercounty Baseball League as we approach that time of year. 1v8, 2v7, 3v6, 4v5. Who knows where anyone's going to finish right now. It's a best of 5 to start things off, so that's what the Hamilton Cardinals and Toronto Maple Leafs will face first. The only question for Hamilton, will they or will they not have home field advantage? Definitely putting themselves into contention for that if they can go out and get a win here against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And well, they've got the right guy to do it on the mound to try and close things out. This is Fernando Rodney, maybe the most popular player in the Intercounty Baseball League this season. He'll face Luca Boscarino to start things off, and one squeaks under his glove. Nickel, bare hand, throw to first. Oh, what a play. Brandon Nickel has been fantastic at shortstop for the Hamilton Cardinals. Well, Fernando Rodney did not help that ball at all. He kind of slowed it down and meant that Nickel had to really sling it over there to first base, but he did. Fernando has an ERA of 4.29 on the season for the Cardinals and 14 2/3 innings pitched. One of the best closers of all time in Major League Baseball. Pitching for the first time here at Christie Pitts. Ryan Dos Santos takes a strike. That's strike 2. I talked to Ryan Dos Santos after a game where he faced Fernando Rodney in Hamilton, and he said, you know, it's the changeup for Fernando Rodney. It's not necessarily the fastball velocity, but that changeup still is, you know, major league stuff. And that might have been it right there as Dos Santos swings over the top of it. So it's going to bring Spencer McInnes to the plate as he gets an at-bat here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Maple Leafs down to their final out. The young McInnes against the veteran Fernando Rodney. That one's a strike. Spencer McInnes hitting .244 on the season for the Maple Leafs. Here's the 0-1. Rodney reached back for a little extra and missed inside. McInnes way out in front of the Rodney off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. The Maple Leafs down to their final strike. The 1-2 from Rodney. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fernando Rodney gets the strikeout. He needs just 8 pitches to get through the Toronto Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 9th inning. And it's the Hamilton Cardinals who win this game 11-3. They put up runs all throughout the game. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 4 in the fifth, 1 in the 7th, and 2 in the 8th. Their final line score, 11 runs on 15 hits for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have 3 runs on just 4 hits. And it's the Cardinals who come away with the decisive victory here in Toronto.